everybody, welcome back to another unmotorized moment of inspiration. Yes, I'm still your host, Dr. Dustin Bain, and today's message is going to be all about details. And I'm going to share a story with you, I'm going to share a personal story with you, and then I'm going to have a call to action on things you need to do moving forward into 2021 that are going to help you lead your inspired movement. So, over the weekend I shared a story that I hadn't shared before, and the story was this. I had heard from a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, who'd said, you know what, she was listening to an audiobook right now that I think you'd really like. I love the guy's voice. The message is on point with kind of how you share things, and I think you should check it out. And the book was Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. So me being who I am, thought, hey, if a friend is recognizing this and suggesting I get a book, then gosh darn, I'm gonna order a book right now. And it just so happened I was still at the clinic adjusting patients when I got this message. So I went into my office, opened up Amazon, clicked on Green Lights, saw it was there. And you know how sometimes they have multiple options? Like it had 3 or 4 different pictures of the book, but as I was doing this, someone had walked in the office, so I was in a little hurry. And they also have the option of order now or put into your shopping cart or something. In a hurry, taking the trust of a friend, I'm like, I'm gonna get this book. So I just pushed order now and walked back out and started adjusting people. Thought nothing of it, thinking I'm gonna get a great book, this is gonna be awesome. The next day, I'm looking at my checking account and I'm like, God, what is that? It was a withdrawal for $174.99. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't remember ordering anything. I know it's Christmas time, but I don't remember ordering anything for that. And I got to thinking, so I'm like, all right, let's go to Amazon and see what did happen. Because sometimes my wife and I share the account and she'll put things in there, I don't know what's in there, and go from there. So I went into the orders and noticed that I had accidentally ordered the Matthew McConaughey Green Lights autographed edition of Green Lights, which apparently was $174.99, not the $18.99, which the book is normally. So the key and the motion with this is details matter. And yes, I'm going to keep this book as a reminder to myself that, you know what, read the fine detail. Details matter. In a contract, read the details. They're all there. So what does this have to do with you? What's this have to do with you? Details matter. You know, details matter in recipes, the order with which you do certain things. Disney has nailed details. Right, you go to Disney World, they are so fine on details. They have people out there shopping, or I'm shopping, picking up trash, hiding it. All this stuff's going on. Details matter. If you're in business for yourself, if you work for somebody, if you're like my hairstylist, if you go in and she doesn't know you, she's gonna introduce herself. She also knows you by name, knows personal information about you, like not personal information, but things like your family. Asks about your family. Asks what's going on. It's details versus going to any Joe Schmo hairstylist out there. You sit down, they start doing a cut. They don't know who you are or what your family's about or what you're there for. Details matter. So there's a story that I love that drives this absolutely home, and it's this. There was a company who just been getting ran over. Man, their employees were just kind of running the show. The inmates were running the asylum, so to speak. And they decided to hire a absolute pit bull for the new HR position, right? They brought him in, and he was excited. He was kind of like gruff, like, yeah, I'm the bad guy. I'm here to make a movement. And they're giving him the tour of the facility. He's walking around the facility, looking around, and he looks over to his left, and he sees this gentleman like leaning up against the wall, staring down at his phone. And he's like, well, that's not really working really hard. So the guy looks around and he notices a bunch of employees around the whole area in this big room, and he says, "All right, here, this is the point. I'm gonna have to, let people know who's in charge here." So he walks over to the gentleman and kind of touches him on the shoulder and said, "Hey, excuse me, how much money do you make per hour?" And the kid looking at the phone, looks down at his phone, looks up at the guy and said, "About $500. Why?" And the HR guy says, "Hold on, I'll be right back." And he storms off, goes to his office, comes back with $2,000 cash, gives it to the guy, and said, there's 4 weeks pay. Don't ever come back here. I don't ever want to see your face again. Get out of here. And the kid looks around, looks at the guy and says, thank you, walks away. And the HR guy's like brushing himself, like tapping himself on the back, like, all right, they're going to get the point now that I'm in business. I'm here to change the culture. And he turns around, he looks at the workers and says, All right, who here can tell me what that slacker does here? And it was silent for a little bit, and then all of a sudden somebody in the back of the room yells out, that's Johnny. He's the delivery boy for Domino's. The guy didn't even work there. Details matter. Where are you missing out on details in your life? Is it in your relationships? Are you still doing date nights? Are you still saying I love you? Is it in at work? Are you showing up late, on time, or a little early? Is it in fitness? Are you taking care to note your form, or are you just lackadaisically going through motions and movements, half-assing things? You want results? It's all in the details. Chuck Swindoll said, the difference between something good and something great is the attention to detail. You want a great 2021? It's all in the details. Figure it out. That's all I have for today. Hope everybody has an amazing day. Find the details. Stay inspired.